Who is Jake Paul? A rebel? A fighter? A showman?
Shut the f*** up!
He's conquered the internet. He's silenced critics in the ring. But now, he steps into a new arena.
I'm the face of this sport. Do yourself, New York.
Jake Paul.
Starting Jake off and I'ma finish him.
I want to fight this young motherfucker.
Mike Tyson. What happens when a disruptor meets a legend? Is this the rise of a new era?
I'm the best fighter in the
Or
world.
the ultimate downfall?
I'm gonna take your throne, brother.
To some, he's a provocateur. To others, he's a trailblazer. But beyond the clickbait titles and polarizing headlines, who really is Jake Paul? Jake Paul's story doesn't start with boxing gloves or million-dollar checks. It starts in a small town in Ohio, where a young kid found his voice through a phone screen and 6-second loops. In 2013, Vine, that's where it all began. What made Jake stand out was his raw, unfiltered energy. He wasn't just performing, he was reaching through the screen, demanding your attention. And it worked. By the time Vine shut down in 2017, Jake had already amassed millions of followers. His natural charisma and relentless pursuit of content creation set him apart, turning him into one of the most talked-about personalities of the early social media era. His charisma caught the eye of Disney, landing him a role on Bizaardvark, a comedy series where Jake's wild personality thrived. But with growing fame came the downside: controversy. Jake's antics on and off set led to public disputes and relentless scrutiny. Life in the public eye wasn't just glamorous, it was relentless. Headlines called him reckless, neighbors called him a menace, and soon Jake Paul parted ways with Disney. This departure marked a pivotal shift in his career. After leaving Disney, Jake doubled down on his YouTube career, creating content that pushed boundaries. It was during this period that he launched Team 10, a social media incubator that combined the efforts of content creators, amplifying their reach and monetizing their combined fan bases. The concept was innovative, paving the way for collaborative influencer models that many would later emulate. Team 10 was not only a content group, but a business venture that reportedly generated millions in revenue. Jake's business acumen was evident even then, a calculated mix of risk-taking and trend-setting. But while Team 10 kept the cash flowing and headlines buzzing, it was his entry into the world of professional boxing that truly redefined him. Then, in a pivot no one expected, Jake turned to boxing. Not as a hobby, but as a career. What started as a YouTuber stunt quickly evolved into a quest for legitimacy. The fight was messy, adrenaline-fueled, but Jake won. And that victory sparked a shift. Suddenly, the influencer wasn't just making vlogs and music videos. He was stepping into the ring, eyeing real opponents. His win over Deji Olatunji was followed by victories over seasoned athletes like former NBA star Nate Robinson, and later, former MMA fighters such as Ben Askren and Tyron Woodley. These victories silenced some critics, but amplified the questions. Is he a real fighter? Today, Jake Paul is more than just a YouTube star turned boxer. He's a disruptor and advocate in the boxing world. Through his company, Most Valuable Promotions, he's pushed for better pay and visibility for fighters, notably supporting Amanda Serrano and helping her land career-defining opportunities. Paul has also sparked a public feud with UFC's Dana White, challenging him on fighter pay and pushing for better conditions across combat sports. Beyond the ring, Jake has ventured into multiple business projects, co-founding Beater, a sports betting app aimed at the new generation of fans. He's also co-founded Boxing Bullies, a non-profit that uses boxing to empower kids, build confidence, and combat bullying. And now, Jake faces his biggest challenge yet, a fight with boxing legend Mike Tyson. For boxing, this match represents a clash of generations, an icon of the sport's raw power, and a modern athlete known for shaking things up. If Jake wins, it could silence those who still see him as just a showman, and further establish him as a legitimate force in boxing. But if he loses, he may feel the sting of the experience gap, and face a tough test of his credibility. Whatever the outcome, Jake Paul's fight with Tyson is a defining moment, not just for him, but for the future of boxing.